attention, the illest up in the business. I'm hoping to make a killing. Get at me, going coast to coast, going coast to coast. We going coast to coast, coast to coast.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Football Talk, and in this episode I'm going to talk about something that's means a lot to me. It's about the University of Central Florida, and I'm basically going to be recapping the game last night against Southern Mississippi, and I'll go a little bit into the whole big movement into the Big East. Now, starting off, I know this video is not going to be very popular, but I just had to put it out because I am a UCF fan. So last night's game really pissed me off, just to put it lightly. It wasn't a bad game. Jeff Godfrey starts the game, known as UCF's star quarterback, with his ability to run the ball, throw the ball very well. Halfway through the first quarter, roughly, he gets benched, which really shocked me, because it's not that he played bad. I mean, he didn't play great either, but he wasn't bad, you know. So benching him was a shock to me, and in place of him, they put in the redshirt freshman Blake Bortles, and I've seen him play a little bit before. I mean, it hasn't been for an entire game though. It's only been for like maybe a quarter or a couple series or so. So I really wasn't sure what to expect from Blake, and he didn't let me down. He was did very well. Great pocket passer. He does have a little bit of mobility to him, not a whole lot, but he's got a little something there. Like I said, he's a good pocket passer. He doesn't have a lot of experience, so he's going to make some bad throws, bad decisions. There were a couple throws where he threw it way behind the receiver, way out in front, totally missed. You know, that's bound to happen. I can understand that. But he also had some nice passes where he threw it into really tight holes. He had some nice accuracy on a couple of them, so give him some time, give him a couple games. I think he's going to do very well. As far as between him and Jeff Godfrey, I really don't know which one's the lesser two evils. Jeff Godfrey has that mobility factor, whereas Blake Bortles, he's more of a passer. So it all depends on the coach's decision. Now, as far as that game goes, UCF's defense really picked it up. I mean, they're the 5th ranked defense in the entire FBS, so they really held their ground. Basically just shut down the run game of Southern Mississippi, so I'm happy for that. But there were also a lot of times where they got burned on a lot of passing plays. Like I'm talking about like 20-yard passing plays often. So obviously I'm not too thrilled about that. I mean, just they gotta work on better coverage, obviously. The one cornerback, I believe it was Josh Robinson, he did very well, so there's a plus side on that. But yeah, they got burned on the pass game often. So UCF, moving on from the defense, their offense, what's been killing them all year is their inability to score in the red zone, which showed up in the beginning of the Southern Mississippi game. You know, they were down, I think it was like 16-6. They couldn't get anything going in the red zone. Finally, they get a score off of special teams by their running back. I believe his name is Latavius. Hold on a second. Latavius Murray. He came off on a big kick return for a touchdown, which really boosted up UCF. They get another big kick return after another Southern Miss score. Soon the game becomes 23-22 UCF. I'm really pumped up about that. And, you know, like I said, no offensive production. Southern Mississippi gets the ball. They score on, get the 2-point conversion, and end up being 30-23. And this is about 1:45 left in the fourth quarter. Blake Bortles is in the game. I'm panicking for him. I'm thinking, it's a redshirt freshman. What is he going to do? What's going to happen? And I'm real proud of the guy. He kept his composure. He was very calm. He moved slow, which made me very nervous because usually 2-minute drills got to be really quick paced. He took his time. He just went down the field nice and slow. All the way down to around the 15-yard line. 12 seconds left. For UCF, both offensive tackles have a false start penalty. Backs him up another 10 yards. Has a 10-second runoff. So it's 2 seconds left on the clock. And I'm panicking. Blake Bortles, redshirt freshman, not a lot of experience. What is he going to do? 2 seconds left. He's at the 25-yard line. What's going to happen? And all of a sudden, he's nice and calm, drops back, throws it deep to hit his fellow redshirt freshman, one of my favorite players, J.J. Wharton, in the end zone. And that play was one of those times where I was saying Blake Bortles had one of those nice, accurate passes into a nice small hole, and that was the case for that touchdown. So the game ends up being 30-29. And, I'm jumping up and down. I'm excited. I'm pumped up. UCF is finally making a game out of this. It's their opportunity to take down the top team, Southern Mississippi, of the Eastern Division, the Conference USA. And it keeps their hopes alive for a possible Conference USA bowl game, championship game. So I'm pumped up, and in the middle of jumping up and down, being excited, I hear George O'Leary wants to go for 2. And you should have seen me. I was in midair. I heard that. I dropped right on my butt, and my jaw dropped too. I don't know why in the world you would go for it. I mean, I'm all about no guts, no glory. I'm all for that. But you gotta use logic. Alright? You want the possibility to become repeating Conference USA champion once again, so you have to win out for the rest of your season. Alright? You have to play it safe. Alright? And plus, it's big to take down the top team in your division, Southern Mississippi. That would be huge. Like I said, I understand no guts, no glory, but you play that safe. You have to play that safe. Kick the field goal, go into overtime. Your defense has been shutting it down, aside from some passing plays. I mean, your defense has been shutting it down, especially if it's in college football overtime rules. You start at the 25-yard line. That's a smaller window for Southern Mississippi to throw the ball, so it's easier for your defense on passing. So why don't you just force it into overtime? Blake Bortles has been playing very well most of the game. Your defense has been shutting down the run. With a smaller window, it's easier for them to shut down the pass. It makes no sense as to why you would go for it. Now, it's a huge, poor decision on George O'Leary's part. I mean, I was a passionate fan at that time. I was all about fire George O'Leary. I mean, that's just overreacting, but that's just how I felt at the time. So that was a heartbreaker loss for UCF, and just got to take the rest of the season and just do what you can. Hopefully we'll become bowl eligible. I don't know. I mean, we're about 4-5, I think. So we definitely have to win out to get consideration for being bowl eligible. So hopefully that becomes the case. Now, as far as UCF's movement into the Big East, there's really not a lot to talk about because the Big East is nothing more than a huge puzzle. It's basically a puzzle with some missing pieces you can't really put together yet. I mean, West Virginia left. There's talks of Louisville leaving. There's talks of Rutgers and Connecticut leaving. I mean, nobody knows what's going on. I mean, they're trying to bring in UCF, Houston, SMU, Boise State, the academies, Navy, Army, Air Force. I mean, nobody really knows what's going on. There's also been a report saying that Boise State will go, or they're able to go, if the Big East creates a Western Division. Who knows if that's going to happen? I mean, I really can't say whether or not UCF will succeed, because I don't even know who's going to be in the Big East. You really don't. I mean, you don't know if they're going to set up into 2 divisions. You don't know who they want to play. It's just really, it's confusing. I mean, nobody knows what's going on, and I would say it's a good move for UCF to go to the Big East. It's a good move for a lot of these schools, because as of right now, the Big East is a BCS automatic qualifying conference. But with all their quote-unquote major teams leaving, such as West Virginia, possibly Louisville, I forgot to mention Pittsburgh and Syracuse on top of that leaving. Who knows if they'll even keep that. I mean, it's really not going to be that great of a conference. Who knows? I mean, do they keep the BCS automatic qualifier? Because what other conference are you going to give it to? I mean, there's really no other conference unless you just take it away altogether, which I don't see that happening. So, I mean, if that's the case, it's a great move for UCF. Finally get them to some possible BCS games. I mean, they're not great right now, but they are a program on the rise, getting lots of young talent, whether it be Jeff Godfrey or Blake Bortles at quarterback, J.J. Wharton, redshirt freshman receiver, huge potential. Quincy McDuffie, who's a junior right now, hopefully he stays for his senior year. I mean, there's a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball. It's give UCF time, they'll be a really good program. I mean, UCF, the university itself, is like the 2nd or 3rd largest as far as population on campus. So there's a lot of players to choose from, and especially recruiting out of Florida and whatnot, you'll get some talent. So I think that's going to do it for me. Like I said, it's nothing more than a recap of UCF and what I'm talking about as far as the Big East. So hope you guys enjoy the video. Oh, and before I go, shout out to Peyton's Eye on Sports. The link will be in the description below, so check him out. He sent me a little shout out for sending him a sports fun fact, so I'm just returning the love. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me. So on that note, thank you for watching, and keep on tuning in.